Hey, this is Prometheus giving you another offensive breakdown. This is going to be out of the Atlanta Falcons playbook. I'm going to break down 3 formations for you, 2 under center and 1 shotgun formation. Basically, you've got very good running game out of this, and I've also got some pretty good plays in this particular formation. So I'm going to break down the following. Okay, strong close. This is going to be one of the fastest breakdowns I'm going to give, but this is by far the best strong close in the game of Madden. The Atlanta Falcons have the perfect audibles. You can run this play solely alone against your opponent and pick up some major yards. The second formation we're going to break down is going to be the single back tight doubles. Single back tight doubles. There's a lot of great audibles in this particular play set and some good base plays you can run also. And then finally on gun, we're going to run the wing trips. And what I like about that is basically we've got 4 wide receivers on the right side, or the left side, depending on how you flip the play, of the quarterback, causing a lot of man and zone coverage mismatches. So this is going to definitely give your opponent a hard time. So let's go ahead and jump into the strong close and show you these phenomenal audibles. All right, so if you take a look at these audibles, we have mesh, halfback dive, Atlanta doubles out. So you have 2 quick outs on this, and you got a nice route, seam route by the tight end, and then you have play action scissors. Now I'm basically only going to pick one other play, and one of the most devastating plays in this game, and it has been for a few years now, is the quick toss. So I'm going to force my opponent, because I've got the audible, the halfback dive. I'm going to use the quick toss to dictate how he plays his defense. He's going to have to go ahead and compensate for the quick toss, and then I can go ahead and audible into the dive, and then I'll jump into some of the other audibles too with this formation. So against any kind of random defense, you've got the quick toss, and all you do is just go ahead and follow your blocks and just try to hit the corner and pick up those yards. Pick up an easy 5 yards right there. And the great thing about this play is you can flip it, and your opponent's going to have to focus on that toss play. Just because it's so devastating and it gets such good blocking, and you'll just be able to go right down the sideline for major yards. Now, what's a complement of this play is the halfback dive. So if he starts adjusting, shifting a defender over there, trying to take away that basically that toss, you can just go ahead and hit him dive right up the middle to be able to get some tough yards up there. So that's what's great about this formation, is just you've got basically a nice 2-headed monster, inside run, outside run, and your opponent has to go ahead and adjust to it. Now this is where things get really fun, is you can jump into the audibles. So the first audible is mesh, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flanker receiver, which is Julio Jones, and I'm going to go ahead and just streak him up. Now my progressions are going to be the following. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at DeMarco in the flat. If it is a cover 3 zone blitz, basically having a shell, nobody out in the flat, I'm going to go ahead and take the easy yards in the flat. If the flat is defended, I'm going to go ahead and look at Tammy and see if he's coming off to the corner and see if he's open. And then finally I'm going to go ahead and dump the ball down to White, because he will beat man and will be falling into the zone coverage. So let's just go ahead and take a look. There is a defender in the area, and I just dump it down for a nice 3 or 4 or more, depending if I... Once again, I'm going to go streak up Jones. I'm going to look to the flat, and if that's available to me, I'm going to go ahead and take that, because I want to force my opponent to defend the flat. Once again, I'm going to streak up Jones. And if the deep corner is available to me, I can pick up some pretty monster yards with that play, because that streak clears out the zone for me. So this is a really effective play. You can essentially run it majority of the game and pick up some pretty easy yards with it. So let's go to the complement. Now the complement of this play is basically the Atlanta doubles out. Now our opponent is going to be focusing on the pitch to the outside to the right, and if you do the passing, you're going to essentially you're going to have another user defender. So what's great about this play is basically what you can do is you've got a quick out to the left, which is going to be your first read. And what I like to do on the backside too is I like to go ahead and take my wide receiver, my flanker Jones, and put him on the streak. So it gives me a levels concept working my way to the field. I first read the quick out. If it's man coverage, I'm going to go ahead and take those yards, forcing my opponent to go into some kind of a zone. If he's in zone coverage and a defender floats up to White, I'll check down to Jones or actually go to Tammy in the seam. So on an island, and that quick out is always going to pick up a good 10 yards on that. Very quick adjustments, and I'm always going to go ahead and take the quick out, because that's going to be guaranteed yards. It's going to be very harassing for my opponent to stop. Now, if I've got zone, I've also got this slant that goes over the middle. That's going to fall in a nice little area to be able to pick up some easy yard. And I've got the tight end in this neat little area that he's actually going to go right up the seam, and then he's going to cut up and post. So it's a good way to go ahead and attack your opponent if he uses his middle safety. So you basically got a way to go ahead and attack your opponent to the left and to the right. If he overcompensates, brings a user over to another player, another area, you basically got a lot of different ways you can go ahead and attack him. This can really force a hard time. One final adjustment is you can do the play action, and what I like to do on this is I like to go ahead and just leave enough blocking for me. And really you can do a lot of different things with this particular play, but all I'm doing is just really trying to look for the deep post over the middle to see if I can go and pick that up. I'm not really going to run this play too much, just because all the other two plays are very, very effective. There's no reason to do the other two plays, so that's what I do like it. But I can go ahead and create myself a seam, and then I've got the deep post over the middle with Julio Jones if I can catch it. So let's go ahead and jump into the other formation. This single back tight doubles is a formation that's going to have a lot of fun plays and a lot of auto motions, and is really going to cause your opponent a hard time with it. But with this particular strong close, all you need is mesh, the Atlanta doubles out, the fullback dive. You're going to really eat your opponent up with those particular plays right there. Now, the single back tight doubles. What I like about this is I've got basically a three wide receiver set with a tight end. It comes with stick, halfback ace power, which is a nice little power play. I've got the wide receiver corner that offers me a lot of flexibility, and then the play action shot. Now, as far as the runs I'll probably pick, I'm either going to pick the halfback dive or maybe the stretch play. I'll just use the halfback dive just to kind of establish an inside run, and then the power will take me outside a little bit. And another base play I'm going to use is going to be the slot corner, because I'm going to take that slot receiver and put him on a motion, and that's going to give me a nice little play to go ahead and beat a lot of different coverages. One other thing too is I want to try to take and put my best wide receiver in the slot position, because the slot position is going to be the receiver that's going to be catching a lot of the balls in this game. So just a basic dive is just another way to go ahead and keep your opponent honest. It's going to give you those hard yards up the middle of the field. Good way to go ahead and force your opponent to stop the inside run. Now you do have the ace power, and what's great about this particular play is you can flip it, and then you can motion your wide receiver to go ahead and provide you another blocker, where you can either take this inside or outside. And just give my opponent just another look right there. You get that outside lead block by your wide receiver number one. You'll probably get some pretty good yards with this run. Now, one of the base plays I like is slot corner, because of the way the play is set up. And really all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just cancel out this running back. Now, this is actually a play that I picked up from Stiff from Madden Daily. He runs basically a single back formation of this, which is more of a tight doubles look, and he does a lot of these auto motions with the slot receiver, and it causes a lot of mismatches. So really my progressions on this play is I'm going to go ahead and take the wide receiver, I'm going to motion him out, and I'm going to go ahead and see if the defender follows with him, because on that out cut he's going to pick up some pretty easy yards. If not, I've got a levels concept over the middle, and I can go ahead and hit players that way. So right here just got rid of the ball a little bit too, didn't actually let my thing set up, but as you can see, the tight end is going to get across the field and pick up major yards on man-to-man coverage. Block my running back, go ahead and motion out my wide receiver. And what's nice about this play is he just gets that out cut right there. So that's a bad ball by the quarterback, but let's go ahead and try it again. Go ahead and motion it, and now I've got the little out cut and picked up a play. Force that ball in there. I should have checked. Go ahead and take this wide receiver and just motion him out. Once he gets out a little bit, I've got that nice little out cut that I can pick up some fairly easy yards with it. if my opponent starts cheating down, I've got that deep post route that I can pick up some pretty monster yards with if he starts cheating down to the... Now, one of the audibles is going to be single back tight doubles, and what you can do is you can do the two different things. You can go ahead and just leave the play like it is right now. It gives you essentially an easy Y stick type situation, and if you get the separation, you can go and do that. You can dump the ball down to the fast read with the wide receiver. But I want to try to give my opponent the same look that he's been seeing before. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take my wide receiver number 2, which is White. I'm going to go ahead and slant him up, and I'm going to take Jones and either put him on a curl route or a hitch route, then motion him, and once he gets past it, I know I'm going to go ahead and have a fast read where I can actually hit him in an area. Now, there's going to be a defender in that area. He's not going to leave that guy alone because I've just essentially been destroying him with that route, or that's a route that he's been really concentrating on. So I've got a backside slant that I can basically get right into coverage. That defender floated up and stayed smart. And I also have got, if I've got the flat open, I can go ahead and hit him in the flat and pick up some pretty easy yards that way if he's actually using a lot of cover 3 zone. This is not going to be a play that I'm going to use a lot in this game or in this scheme, just because I think the other audibles are more effective, especially the base play that you'd be running. Now, the other audible here is going to be the wide receiver corner. And basically I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this play, I'm going to run it a little bit differently. I'm going to go ahead and take Jones, I'm going to go ahead and motion him to the other side. And this is going to give me the following look. I'm either going to go ahead and streak up Jones, or I'm going to leave him in the same route that he is right now. Now, if I leave him in the same route he is right now, it's a nice little spot route that I can dump down for some fairly easy yards. Or what I can do is I can streak him up, and that gives me a circle, flat, and streak concept. So it can give me an easy flat route to be able to hit my opponent. Or if I get the read I'm looking for, I've got the circle route that I can pick up some monster yards with. So that's what's good about this, is it gives you a backside circle, basically a corner, flat, and streak concept that you can attack your opponent on the backside, and he's going to be forced to actually defend that. And then if you do the motion with your run, he's going to be thinking he has to defend against a run too. And the final play we're going to look at is going to be a play action shot cross. And I'm going to use motion either way. First and foremost, I'm going to cancel out this. I'm going to cancel out this run. And then I'm going to go ahead and do things such as give myself a levels concept. And I can either streak up my wide receiver number 3, or I'm going to put him on a comeback route. And I'm going to go ahead and motion this guy out, so it gives me a quick levels concept that I can go ahead and attack my opponent with. Now, it's critical to use this particular play and this concept is because it's just going to force my opponent to go ahead and defend to the right that he's probably not used to doing already. Based on some of the plays. Now I can use the play action if I want to, but I don't necessarily like play action. I don't like getting stuck in that animation. I just don't feel like I can get rid of the ball quick enough. I'm sure that there are other players out there, more elite players out there, that will actually prove otherwise. But you do have this delayed route by the crossing wide receiver that you're putting on motion, so you can actually hit him in a nice little area to force your opponent to defend that. So let's just go ahead and see if we can hit him in that little area right here. So you've got that other area. He's coming back. He's probably going to start focusing, so you can hit him if you look at the wide receiver and there's no defender in the way. Now, there's another way to go ahead and run this play too. And basically what you can do is you can give your opponent the same look again, but this time what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take Jones and put him on motion. And before he sets, you got essentially a built-in speed out that you can beat him with, especially if he's using a lot of man zone or man coverage. So this is a nice little way to go ahead and attack your opponent on the other side, give him a look like you might be running the ball, and then you've got to speed out that he has to figure out how to defend that. So that's what I do like about this play, is it's multi-versatile on how you can go ahead and attack them. And if you wanted to, you can leave that other crossing route in there just to give yourself another way to go ahead and give them another thing to think about. So I do like this. I like this particular play, this particular formation, just because of some of the versatility that comes with it and a lot of the unique route concepts. So let's go ahead and jump into the final formation, which is going to be the gun wing trips. Basically, it's going to be a fast breakdown because a lot of these concepts you've seen before, used before, seen from my channel. Now, the wing trips basically is the same thing as any kind of a wide trips kind of formation, but the difference is that you can see the running back is on the right side, giving me 4 wide receivers on one side of the field. The audibles are going to be stick, play action in. The run audible is actually a draw, and then you got 4 verticals. Now I'm basically going to run pretty much every single play. The only play that I might add into it is Y trail, but I'm not going to go ahead and jump to that too much. I'm really going to run everything, just run an inside zone and go from there. Alright, so with an inside zone, it's just going to give you that double blocking to be able to go ahead and attack your opponent off to the left side of the field, right up the middle of the formation, and it always gets very good blocking. You can pick up some very good yards with your opponent that way. Now, if he does give you off coverage, what you can do is try to hit him with basically a draw. Usually a lot of times if people use a lot of coverage, zone coverage, draws will open that up. So if you see off coverage when you come out of the play auto, as long as he's not doing a blitz, you should be able to pick up some pretty good yards. But that looks like it was a man blitz right there because a lot of defenders came in. Off coverage again, and look how the blocking sets up. Those guys just kind of float back and allow me to go ahead and pick up some pretty easy yards. Now, stick is going to be the play that is going to be the first audible, and basically what my readers are going to be off to the right. I'm going to look at Hester and the flat. If Hester if the flat defender comes down, I'll look to Tammy and then White up top in this particular situation. But I'm always going to go ahead and take the flat route right away, pick up the easy yards that way. Once again, look to the flat. I've got the crossing backside slant that if he doesn't have a buzz zone in the middle of the field, I should be able to pick up some pretty easy yards. My next progression is going to be the tight end. The tight end is actually going to make a good read. He's either going to go into man coverage, or actually do a complete out if it's man coverage, or he'll fall into the zone if it's zone. And, you know, I will take a shot up top if I can get it right there. I was able to fall down with the ball right in front of the safety. That's what's good about verticals. You'll be able, or with stick, you can attack your opponent on the left hand or on the right hand side. Now, verticals essentially is going to be the same kind of situation. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I like to go ahead and put an option route on the running back, and my progressions are going to be the seam with Hester to see if a defender falls with him. If not, I'm going to go ahead and throw the ball to the outside to the running back. So right there, the seam by Hester, you just to cover 3, you'll be able to go ahead and hit that. I'm not really going to break down verticals much more. The only difference is I do like to do an option with the running back because he does fall in the right area, or he'll make a break to the outside against man coverage. And the final play, and this is going to be the play action wide receiver in, and what I like to do is I like to take the running back and put him on a wheel route, because end zone coverage, that wheel route should be open and naked and wide and very easy for a first down. My progression is really going to be Tammy, and then I'll look at Jones, and then I'll dump the ball down to the wheel. If the defenders float back, I know it's going to be zone, and that wheel route should be wide open because those 2 wide receivers clear out for you. So once again, wheel route, and I'm going to watch. I've got Tammy in the flat is another way I can do a little read right there and pick up some fairly easy yards. Man coverage. Tammy will blow his guy away, and then also that deep dig route on the backside will get open too. So if your opponent starts focusing on the left side, you've got the deep dig route that's just going to fall right in that area. Drop pass right there because he got smashed by the best defense, ranked defense in the game. But you can kind of see how this concept works. It basically hits your opponent really pretty much every area of the field. So with this particular playbook, Falcons, there's a lot of good formations, but these are the formations that stuck out to me. The strong close, the single back tight doubles, the gun wing trips. I think these particular formations are going to be the formations that I'm going to go ahead and use in my Draft Champions gameplay. This is unranked. Hopefully I don't take a loss right away. That way I can get a couple games underneath my belt with this formation. So for all you subscribers, I really appreciate your support. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Until next time.